a rookie for the Cincinnati Bengals has had a rough first year in the NFL, and it looks like it's getting rougher. Jermaine Burton, the wide receiver we drafted in the third round of this season, has had a rocky start to his NFL career, and this week it got a little bit rockier, if that's even a phrase. As we know, I talked about it earlier before the last game of the season against the Steelers. Jermaine Burton didn't even travel with the team, and I'm going to be going over that report on it has come out why he didn't travel with the team. The Cincinnati Bengals have not come out with an official statement regarding what happened, but I'm going to be talking about the report of what happened and what it means for the Bengals going forward because there's a lot going on in this report. And before I jump into any of the report, I have to let you guys know it does get a little. It's dark in some points, some parts of the report. Some things are uncomfortable to hear. Just a fair warning before I jump into the right, but I'm just going to jump in, get talking to it, and then what this means for the Cincinnati Bengals going forward. So Jermaine Burton, obviously, like I said, rocky road. But this is a report coming from the Cincinnati Enquirer. Cincinnati Bengals wide receiver Jermaine Burton accused of assault. No charges have been filed. Read the report. This is the main part of the report of what was going on. 911 caller. He hit me and he left. Reports show Burton and the woman met in September and dated on and off in the month prior to the alleged assault. So, according to the report, Jermaine Burton was dating a 19-year-old girl in Cincinnati, like this report says, off and on. And this in December, before Christmas, Jermaine Burton was also evicted from his apartment in Cincinnati and is being sued by the apartment complex. And then this came out. Continue reading. The two had been together and argued before the incident in the woman's Oakley neighborhood apartment, reports show. After the night out, police were called and the woman said Burton met her at her apartment, chased her inside, damaged her phone, and assaulted her, including choking her. The caller said before leaving, Burton had held a knife to his neck and threatened to kill himself. So obviously this is a very serious matter involving Jermaine Burton. I'm going to describe more of the report. Basically, what has been alleged in this report is that earlier in that night, Jermaine Burton and this woman were together. They got into an argument, and then the girl decided to leave and go back to her house. By the time she got to her house, Jermaine Burton was already there waiting for her. An altercation then happened again. Jermaine Burton made his way into the house, eventually breaking her phone, which is also in the report. Said this is the second time that Jermaine Burton, the woman alleged this is the second time this month Jermaine Burton has broken her phone, and then more fighting happened. Eventually, the report says he eventually got into her dishwasher, held a knife to his neck, and threatened to kill himself, and then left before the police was able to get there. Obviously, this has not been proven. He's not been found guilty or anything. Everything is alleged. But with the season that Jermaine Burton has had, what he's had to go through, he's missed workouts, he's missed practices, he's missed meeting. And earlier in the season, he missed a walkthrough meeting when that walkthrough meeting was the sole purpose of getting Jermaine Burton playing time against the Chiefs early in the season. The game plan against the Chiefs was to get Jermaine Burton the ball a lot. He was the game plan, and he missed the meeting before that game. He has barely any production on the field. As of recent, he was getting more involved in the punt returning game and the kick returning game, which he was actually doing pretty well at. Jermaine Burton has a lot of talent. He has a lot of talent. It's obvious the talent is there. But with the production on and off the field, he's not ready for the NFL quite yet. We took a chance on him, drafting him in the third round before someone like McMillan, who is now in the Buccaneers, playing lights out. Because of his talent, Zach Taylor took the chance on him. Even his former coaches like Nick Saban talked about it on draft day about his attitude problems, but we took a chance on him, multiple chances. We've given him multiple chances throughout the season. But he's shown a time and time again that he's not ready for it. And I think, seriously, I hope and pray that he gets the help that he needs. Obviously, if any of this is true, even if a portion of it is true, even if half of it is true, he needs the help that he can get. Also, that woman that made the report, she also needs to get help. She needs to make sure that she's never in that relationship again. So a lot of things coming out of this report. It's really sad to see, because I was hoping and pushing for him to be that next guy up in Cincinnati. I believe in his talent. I just wish that he could turn around off the field and on the field. Like, show the coaches and the other teammates that you actually care about what you're doing, and actually show them that you care. Don't just say you care, but actually show it. So there's a lot of things still left to happen. The offseason is now here for the Cincinnati Bengals. So does that mean he's going to get cut? Or are they going to release him? It all depends. And that's the important thing for outside of the report, but for the Cincinnati Bengals. There's a lot of change that is going to happen in the Cincinnati team, without a doubt. Jamar Chase, he's going to have to get a contract extension this offseason. If we're going to keep T. Higgins, we're going to have to sign him this offseason as well. And then we got to worry about Jermaine Burton, what his future is going to look like for the Cincinnati Bengals. So that's what I'm going to be talking about now. And then first off, I just want to talk about the receivers that Cincinnati has. So even if let's just imagine Jamar Chase gets extended and T. Higgins gets extended, but Jermaine Burton is cut from the team. This is our receiving stats for this season. Jamar Chase and T. Higgins are number 1 and number 2. But then Gesicki, our tight end, is number 3. Andre Yoshavash, the other wide receiver, is 4th. Chase Brown is 5th. Zach Moss, who got hurt most of the season, is 7th. Eric All Jr., another tight end who we drafted this season, is there before Jermaine Burton. Tanner Hudson, another tight end, is there before Jermaine Burton. And then Drew Sample, another tight end, is there before Jermaine Burton. Jermaine Burton this season has 4 catches for 107 yards this whole season. And he's below 5 tight ends, it seems like. So there's a huge problem that Cincinnati has to overcome. If we have to get rid of any wide receivers at all, especially T. Higgins, and we release Jermaine Burton, there is a serious need for wide receiver on this team. And that's crazy to think about, that Cincinnati is wide receiver, but that's exactly what it's looking like. And what other reports, it is looking like Jamar Chase and T. Higgins will both be on the Cincinnati Bengals in 2025. But if we get rid of Jermaine Burton, which I think is the right call, I think he needs to step away from football for a little bit and get the help he needs. But if we release him or cut him, then we have Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and Andre Yoshavash, and Mike Gesicki, but he's a tight end. Those are our 3 wide receivers. Let's go back. Look, the other wide receivers on there are Trenton Irvin. He's not on the Cincinnati Bengals anymore. Eric Pryor, he only had 1 catch this season, and Charlie Jones, who was injured the entire game, and he's more of our kick returner and punt returner anyways. The last guy on the list is Sam Hubbard, our defensive edge. If we get rid of Jermaine Burton or any of the wide receivers, actually, we will literally only have 3 wide receivers. 3 wide receivers, especially if it's T. Higgins that leaves. There is a definite need for wide receivers, and I think that's probably the most important position that we have to worry about, especially if T. Higgins is gone. But if it's Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and Yoshavash, and Jermaine Burton isn't on the team anymore, I think we have to draft a wide receiver first round. Joe Burrow has said multiple times, and they talked about it during the Pittsburgh-Cincinnati game, the last game of the season. Joe Burrow likes to have 5 wideouts on the field. Not 5 wide receivers, but 5 players going out for routes to see what the defense is doing. That's his playing style. That's what he likes to do. You can't do that if you only have 3 wide receivers that are proven on this team. And I love Yoshavash, but he's still not proven to be that wide receiver that you can rely on. He's been a great wide receiver. I think he's done exactly what we've asked him to do, and I'm glad he's on the Cincinnati Bengals. I love watching him. He's a great wide receiver, and 3rd and 10, he's going to catch it when you need him to catch it, just like T. Higgins. But if we only have 3 wide receivers, we have to draft a wide receiver first round. I mean, maybe You could draft someone late, like Kobe Hudson from UCF. Maybe you could draft him late. But I'd rather draft a guy that I'm pretty sure and like almost 100% sure is going to be proven. So that's the important thing that Cincinnati has to worry about, and that's what I'm going to talk about now, is what are the wide receivers that are in this draft. There's two wide receivers that I think with the first pick, knowing we are number 17 in the draft, I think there's two wide receivers that we would have the chance to get. That's Ohio State wide receiver Emeka Egbuka and Missouri wide receiver Luther Burden. Because the other one is McMillan as well. There's a McMillan last year draft and McMillan this year draft. McMillan this year from Arizona is likely going to go top 10. But I think these are the two wide receivers that we will have the chance to get. My preference would be Emeka Egbuka. Luther Burden is kind of similar playing style to Jamar Chase, where Emeka Egbuka is more of a more of a Chris Olave type of build. He's a smaller guy, a little bit of a thinner guy. He's a little bit of a slot guy. Jamar Chase is kind of a slot, but he's really big. Emeka Egbuka is small and a little bit smaller. I think he would fit perfectly in this offense. If you have Jamar Chase out wide, T. Higgins out wide on the other one, and then you put Emeka Egbuka in the slot, I think that would work perfectly. But I think that's the main thing we have to worry about. Obviously, I'm going to go more in depth into mock drafts and who I think we should be going after later. But I think right now, with the report that just came out about Jermaine Burton and the possibility of T. Higgins not being even on the field for Cincinnati next season, I think there's a good chance that we have to draft a wide receiver in first round. This wide receiver class is nowhere near as deep as last year's wide receiver draft was. And if we need to keep Joe Burrow happy, that means having 5 options out on the field. And if we lose anybody in the wide receiver room, that's not likely to happen. So that's why I think we need to really focus on wide receivers in this first round. But thank you so much for watching this Bengals Digest channel. Don't forget to subscribe to the Bengals Digest channel for all your Bengals updates, rumors, trades, what I think should be going on is going to be happening on this channel. Like this video, comment on what you think, if we should be worried about our wide receiver room or if we should worry about defense first. And that's what I thought we should have worried about. I thought we should go get defense first. But if we don't have any wide receivers, we don't have a choice. We have to go get wide receivers. To me, it's a no-brainer. But comment on what you think we should be doing. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Carson Lokey. Good night and God bless.